devs. They've done quite well for themselves. Essentially, they calculate that in an Excel model today that their Unity fees will go from $200 a month to $175,000 a month on January 1st, a month in Unity fees. Essentially, that's a 80,000% increase.
This is no bullshit gaming podcast, 2.5 Gamers, sharing actionable insights, dropping knowledge from our day-to-day user acquisition, game design, and ad monetization jobs. We are definitely not discussing the latest industry news, but having so much fun. Let's not forget this is a 4 a.m. conference discussion vibe, so let's not take it too seriously.
Yeah, okay. Start, and then I'll do the intro.
Do the intro. Okay.
Should I do the intro?
I will do it like the first sentence, and then you can pick or. Welcome everybody. This is session. Well, this is actually a very special session about Unity, and I'm Matej.
I'm Felix Broberg.
And I'm Jakub.
We are your hosts. Welcome. So
this is a special one. So we're recording this podcast quite last minute. On the back of the bombshell news today that Unity is changing its pricing structure for developers who use the Unity gaming engine to build their apps. For those who don't know, about 70% of all mobile applications are currently built with Unity. According to Unity themselves, about 230,000 developers worldwide operate around 750,000 mobile applications with their engine. No matter how you phrase that, anyone can see that any changes to the Unity pricing structure will have massive impact on the mobile ecosystem. There's always in a company's right to change its pricing structure, but wow, this came as a massive shock to the entire ecosystem.
Before people have heart attacks, this is enforced from 1st January of next year.
Yeah. I'm not done yet. Yeah. So, as a lot of you listeners know, the Unity engine has two components: the Unity editor and the Unity runtime, which is the code that's actually executed on your phone. So Unity is introducing a new fee based on the runtime called the runtime fee. That means that developers will be charged based on a flat fee per install instead of a fixed monthly fee. So how much will devs be charged? Well, that depends completely on how much revenue you're earning and in what geo. Essentially, to make things simple, Matej will go into this. In emerging markets, installs will be charged at a 0.05 cent, so a fraction of a cent, to anything up to 2 cents. In tier 1 geos, this will go anywhere from 1 cent up to 20 cents per install. Yeah. So, Matej,
I will put this,
from a UA perspective.
I will put this table on the back in the post-production so everybody can see how ridiculous it looks like. Oh,
it's the table that you're going to see for next month everywhere. It's going to be voted
it was already all over the LinkedIn. Every fucking Slack channel had it everywhere. Everybody's talking about it, and we are talking about it as well. UA perspective, well, terrible. Not great, not terrible. Look, so in terms of the campaigns and all of the fun, it stays more or less the same. The main thing that changes here is the CPI versus the LTV equation, which gets a little bit more complicated since the CPI needs to absorb these bullshit Unity fees now. And also, it's based on the revenue in the last 12 months, but also install threshold, which is absolutely ridiculous.
How is this calculated? Do we know the details?
So basically, you need to hit a certain revenue threshold, and then after that, that's when these CPI costs basically start.
So look,
for those people not seeing the table, so there are some,
everybody
brackets.
Sees the table, but let me explain. So if a game or app meets the minimum threshold for eligibility, the Unity runtime fee is calculated based on the applicable rate, so the number of installs, the country of installs, and the user's Unity plan, which is multiplied by the number of eligible installs. Amazing. Makes sense, right? So there's an example that Unity stated in the FAQs. Let's look at the hypothetical game. Well, guys, that hypothetical game is now dead. So thank you very much. But anyway, so
Hypothetically dead.
So the Unity Team Pro modeled this. So revenue from last 12 months was $2 million. Lifetime installs, 5 million. So the Unity runtime fee will apply to this game as it surpasses the 1 million revenue and 1 million lifetime installs threshold for Unity Pro. Let's look at the installs in the last month. So the prior to month installs, standard fee countries, 200K. Prior month installs, emerging market fee countries, 100K. So the fee is calculated for all of these bullshit numbers, 23K for all the install activity. So they have also this formula here, which is 100K times 0.15 installs because of the cents.
Yeah, 15 cents per standard countries and 7.5 cents per emerging countries.
No,
second tier,
exactly.
and then
1 cent, which is, I mean, this is all super complicated. So, yep, a lot of interesting calculations are going to happen in the next few months. So there's the.
Have you talked about the organic?
Yeah, that's the funny thing in there. There's no notion about. Nothing.
No differentiation between paid UI and organic.
Say anything if it's paid or organic, or if it's like it's just installs. The same thing as they kind of like have the revenue, so it's gross revenue. So amazing.
So how do they calculate the revenue? Do you know?
So the revenue, where is that? I think.
You mean the 2 million?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The model game.
Yeah.
So revenue from last 2 months, and it's if I understand before store cut.
Exactly. Before the cut. So amazing. Yikes.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's aggressive.
So I was kind of speculating, like if this table, which says emerging market, means actually HQ of the company, or emerging market is an install from those geos. Because if it was the HQ, I could see a lot of companies moving to these countries at their HQ.
I don't think developers are that lucky.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
No, based on like the location of the install.
Yeah, it's install. Unfortunately, I was already like, I would move.
By the way, if you are finishing the cost here, just so people know, like there's also like right under our model game, like, do I still need to pay for my Unity subscription plan? Yes, you do. So it's on top of this.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, wow.
If you didn't forget about this.
What are you talking about? This is Unity runtime fee. So it's on top of everything else.
That's a new
on top of everything else.
So I spoke to a dev a little bit before, just to give our listeners some context. Like, so basically, this a dev that's done quite well for themselves. Essentially, they calculate that in an Excel model today, that their Unity fees will go from $200 a month to $175,000 a month on January 1st, a month in Unity fees. Essentially, that's a 80,000% increase in pricing.
Thank you very much.
80 times.
With
yeah.
with 8,000% increase.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry,
80,000% increase, like in 3 months that they know it's coming. Wow.
The base, if they keep the same install activity.
Yeah. I mean, there's only one thing you can do, right? Like, you have to cut down on installs already, right?
Like, shut down the app in other countries that you don't want installs coming from.
That's the thing. So I think you can then pay the Unity Enterprise or whatever. You need to have at least like 1 million. But the revenue is this revenue IIPs, or is it revenue both ads and, or like how it's?
Let me read it. Here. So a game or app's total revenue includes all revenue generated without limitation to retail sales, in-app purchases, subscription fees, web payments, offline payments, ads revenue, etc. Total revenue calculated without deduction, including any relevant digital store fees.
That's the thing. Like, they only see Unity revenue on ads, right?
unless you're on level play,
Unless,
and then we'll
course,
see all the
but
revenue.
when you're
Yeah.
on level play, it's a different discussion that we can have. But
We'll
yeah,
get there.
they don't have the revenue coming from different ad networks in that case. Which, I mean, if you think about it, in this weird table, if you pass the threshold of 1 million downloads and then 1 million revenue as well, you have 1 cent per install. So you are kind of incentivized to have like higher volumes. If you have, I mean, of course, you need to find the sweet spot, right? Because obviously, like if you are the smaller developer in this equation, then you are fucked basically. 20 cents installs, 20 cents per install is quite high. Anyway,
How can they even then? Like,
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't understand this. So how can they even track the ad revenue?
it's only
here?
from Unity.
Must be.
It's only for Unity. It's, yeah,
So-
how else like which other channels or ad networks they can track if you're not using the mediation on Unity?
Does the Unity SDK, like the main one, when you actually build a game, does that track stuff like
It
this?
tracks only Unity.
Maybe it tracks.
Unity ad revenue.
Yeah,
So if
it tracks IPs, right?
it tracks IPs, yes.
Sorry, so there's a giant loophole here.
Maybe. But I don't.
Potentially. Yeah.
Do I understand this correctly? There's a giant fucking loophole that you can,
Well,
use here. Like how then this tracks then? Ad-based
ad-based
game,
games,
of
that's
course.
the thing. But you have the install threshold anyway. So
But if a game is
Yeah,
big on
yeah,
ads,
okay.
like Unity is still gonna make sometimes
yeah.
10K a day, right?
so
like
yeah.
it's gonna roll
Yeah.
over. you
yeah,
anyway,
it's just
okay,
about getting to
sorry.
that point. So yeah.
So then you need to find the sweet spot
Right.
basically.
So from a UA perspective, like if you know this is happening in 3 months, what would you advise, Matej?
Well, I mean, in terms of the UA, what would I do? Maybe I would just spend shit ton of money to get as many installs as possible and then retarget those guys afterwards. But hey, it's almost Q4, so this is not going to be like very cheap exercise. Because as memes and Twitter posts say, if you buy our Unity game, please don't install it. Just buy. No installs afterwards. No, I mean, jokes aside, I would spend as much money as possible and then move to some other engine because it doesn't make any sense. Because, in terms of the UA, this is another component of the CPI. And you need to take this into consideration when thinking about the payback periods, the budgeting, and basically everything. So obviously, if you're a big developer, this is, peanuts. It's not great, obviously, but it won't kill you. But if you're a small developer and 20 cents and you're adding 20 cents to your CPI, this is just going to kill your margins right away.
Or if you're a hyper casual or ad dependent studio.
Or, well, I guess, yeah. Not only small developer, but also hyper casual, which, CPIs are quite low. And if you have to, and this is also like the same thing in the emerging markets. It just doesn't make any sense. So sometimes in like tier 4 geos, I have CPIs of 1 or 2 cents, depends obviously on the game. But if I need to pay an additional 2 cents for the installs, it's just 100% increase. So thank you, Unity. But I had this kind of operations in terms of the UA in these tier 4 geos where I had literally like 1 or 1.5 cent CPIs, but the LTV was like 1.9 cent, for example. So I really literally had to buy shit ton of users for this type of like CPI, which then eventually like made sense. But now it's just like going away. Or we need to have a higher LTV. So ball is on your court.
Hybrid casual.
Jakub.
Yeah. So you think basically retargeting or moving away from
Honestly,
Unity?
smaller developers, they don't really do retargeting. Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I guess this level play credits is the main point of all of this, I guess. But again,
which takes it really nice segue into the impacts on ad monetization, right? Because I think that honestly what this is completely about the level play mediation.
Sure.
So essentially this whole
this
movement...
is your shit, man.
Yeah,
this is destroying my shit.
Yeah, exactly.
My people are suffering because of Felix people.
Exactly. So ad monetization, like from that perspective, like there is an out. So in the FAQ, it says that qualifying customers may be eligible for credits on the Unity runtime fee based on the adoption of Unity services beyond the editor, such as Unity gaming services or Unity level play mediation for mobile ad supported games. The program enables deeper partnership with Unity to succeed across the entire game lifecycle. Please reach out to your account manager for more
Man,
details.
those emails
So,
inboxes are on fire since the
yeah.
4 p.m.
So, from my
CT.
understanding, this essentially means that developers on level play will be exempt or partially or completely from this new pricing structure, which massively changes the landscape for mediation selection. So, let's
What
say
if I don't have ads, man? Like, what if I'm on Unity. I want to have whatever you just said, but I just don't have ad revenue in my game.
Then you put one
well,
placement
essentially,
there,
like
and then just have the level play.
no, but like no, they're smart. So the way they do this is like the bigger ones that they want, like the bigger developers, they'll be
Of
like, oh yeah,
course,
you
they
have enough
want your
ad
part,
revenue, so
like
you can be on level
ad
play,
war.
yeah, and be exempt. But let's say you're like an ad monetized game developer, and your game has like an ad ARPDAU of 7 cents per user, which is really good for some studios, and the game is built in Unity. Like the unit economics to remain on max, like no longer makes
Well,
sense,
I don't.
and developers
Oh
will
man,
look
no,
to
no, no,
move
no,
to
no,
level play to be exempt.
no, no, no,
But
no.
is
No?
it like your new punchline now? Like, not ads are beautiful, but ads are
No.
mandatory.
What?
You
Yeah,
know
I
what
know
I'm
what you're saying.
saying?
I know
That
what
you
you're saying.
need to have the ads in the game in order to get these credits or whatever
But
you're
this is like
talking
a
about.
crazy thing because like so many games are built with Unity, so like them changing just can create all really weird
But
incentives.
that's the thing. This is only an advantage on ad revenue, not on UA. That's the main thing. That's Max is just fucking killing everybody else. So Unity
But don't
can
you think level play will get that good
no,
if they get enough
no,
developers?
maybe yes, but it's like what, like few years away. I mean, Apple. I mean, it took Apple. I mean, what, like how many years until they they bought Mopub and then they shifted almost everybody to Max. It took them quite a lot of money to, in the persuasion of the everybody. Basically, it's like 160k developers already on Max. So this is not gonna be just quick. So it's not no, I don't see that honestly yet.
Well, this is about the
It is
mediation.
about
This
the
is about
mediation,
getting more
of
people
course.
on their
Yeah.
mediation. Like this is like because that basically fuels their UA algorithms that gets them to get better the UA. So
Okay.
this is a move like in the mediation wars, like nothing
Yeah,
else.
but that's the thing. Like they did it really not right.
How let's talk a little bit numbers here. How big is of a change if like whatever I'm the target of this war and I want to switch so I can completely get
What are you
rid of
asking?
this
Wait, what are you
runtime
asking?
fee cost now?
No one knows yet. It's still early days. It came out
Yeah,
today,
we
right?
don't know.
But I'm assuming that this will come out in the next following weeks,
That depends on the
days,
pushback.
maybe
Depends on
even.
the pushback. If the pushback is real big, then yeah.
Push now, push.
Yeah.
Now's the time to
I mean,
push back.
okay, this is about mediation wars. They're trying to get more people on their mediation. But what do you think, like, from a game developer perspective, Remo, about this?
Yeah, so by my 30-minute research before the pod, honestly, I was already, the usual thing. I'm even wearing the T-shirt. Yeah, so there's Unreal Engine, of
Just
course. That's the
Unreal
other
Engine.
alternative that people are talking about. But Unreal Engine isn't really suited for mobile development that much in a way that it just gets too big. Like
What do you mean too
I,
big?
I remember last time when I was working in it, like Unity just compiled scene, nothing in it was like 50 megs, and then Unreal was like 250. Just the difference before, like the size of the engine, because Unreal just can, there are Star Wars movies done in Unreal Engine. Like, sorry, like they just have like so much more stuff that's working there in a way, like it's just more deep. So it's not really like, of course you have games in Unreal Engine like Lineage or all these big MMORPGs and like all these other games. Of course they're just gonna be better off now. But regarding the small games, hello, hyper casual, hybrid casual friends. I don't think so. We're gonna start using Unreal for these. So this is not the viable alternative for these people. So looking more into the, let's say, alternatives, the most two names that keep popping up currently after like all the memes and people raging on the internet is of course Godot engine and the Cocos 2D engine, which are, if I understood, completely open source. I'm not really sure about the Cocos, but about Godot I'm pretty sure it's open sourced and
Hold
it's
that mic
completely
closer,
free.
man.
Yeah. So the main problem that people are complaining that it's of course not that robust as Unity, because it's one of the things why Unity is so good, because it's a very robust
Yeah.
asset store. And you can immediately get assets out of this like giant store where developers, sell their assets to get them monetized, and then immediately you can get the game running very fast because you need this whatever, bam 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 bam, even free stuff. It's there. So it's very robust ecosystem. I think Godot suffers here heavily, and of course they don't have as much kind of fleshed out functions as Unity regarding like some of the. I'm not the programmer,
Oh,
so what I'm talking about. But and there's this very big but if we now run the unit mathematics of installations of these high volume games, I don't think so. This becomes a problem now. This becomes like a very very viable solution currently. Like of course that you don't have the comfort of like Unity Assistant and all
man,
these other things,
nobody
but
cares.
if just
Yeah,
enough people switch, exactly. So why?
it's
It's
free.
free.
It's the
Eh,
same
eh,
thing as with Tenjin
yeah,
as an as an attribution provider. Like a lot of hyper casual developers used it because it was free or it was the cheapest solution. And the hyper
Yeah.
casual companies and small developers are trying to find these loopholes. So I mean,
yeah, and they,
it
to be
doesn't need to be
honest, they
perfect.
don't really need like Unreal Engine is kind of overkill for them to begin with, or they won't use all
They're
of its
always alternative.
functionality, or even Unity Engine in like in its base case. So my guess is that these things can shift and will probably
Who do you
shift
think is
that
going to be
way.
the big winner? What's the dev saying on the Reddit threads?
The Godot one seems like the pick everyone is currently choosing. Like I know about Cocos that like it's like the thing. Last thing I heard is like it's very good with a browser in a way that is very very lean and very very fast there, but it seems Godot is the one that of course people are currently kind of. I've seen some games in it and it looks completely okay. Like for hyper casual needs and like the production value that these games are running through, this seems like the way to go, and it's completely open source, so nothing you are paying currently. Even if you try, it's free. And if there's enough traction, which I think there will be enough
Yeah.
traction after today,
After today, there will be a lot of
people are
traction.
gonna notice. And yeah, of course, there's coming people, and the community will probably band together and like do something with the functionality there and make it better. Why not? So my guess is that the asset store problem that they have, probably if there's demand, asset store will happen. If there's like a lot of people demanding assets on Godot engine, you're gonna
Of
go and
course,
sell
why
them
not?
there.
Yeah.
Why not? So I think there will, yeah, Unity will probably solidify, their big guys that they want to move, and or like the switch costs could be too big, or or they still want to use Unity to the fullest potential. Like they still can compete together, like Godot and Unity. But all the small guys and all the, the grinder guys, as I used to, say, like all the hyper casual grinders where you like just throwing prototypes into a grind and seeing which one has the best CPI, best retention. I guess they will all switch there, because what, like going from one engine to the other, if you know how to work in one to the other, isn't that bad isn't that hard, to be honest, if you're like a good programmer, or good whatever you're currently doing.
Well,
Yeah, so it
So what do you think is
seems
going to happen then?
well, they move.
um,
I mean, like, what else they can do? Small developers, they just will find just like some. Like,
No, I mean more macro. Like, yeah, not about developers, but like, what do we think is
yeah,
going to
so,
happen?
so there's few things that I've seen also into our like collective how mind in our Slack. Feel free to join the discussion
ooh,
there.
very
So
smooth.
one of the interesting takes I seen on this was that there could be regulation going, because Unity is now, having all of these parts. Sounds like a monopoly a little bit to me, but
70% of apps.
yeah. so,
Mm.
so don't quote me on this. I'm not a lawyer, but yeah, this is what just I seen today. Like, could be one of the things that there could be regulation pushback, and Unity has to roll back. The other thing is, of course, that people will, push back, as we talked before, and the other thing I saw also was that, oh, this is just high overreach, so they can play the heroes later down the line and say, oh, we're gonna remove the subscription fee, we're gonna remove this and make it, better, or like always,
No, I
I don't
don't
think
see that.
so.
I
The
don't see
yeah,
developers
that.
I
it's just
spoke
like,
to, they were pretty
Yeah,
pissed off, and I think even if they rolled back on this, they'd still
yeah.
be
There's still.
yeah,
wary.
like you already took the carpet out of their like feet already, so it's too late. I know, but just like could be. And then the last thing was that, yeah, big guys win more and small guys get crushed pretty
Yes,
much. That big
that's
guys
how it
can
is.
negotiate better deals, and like all these credits, whatever, make their way and join the Unity side in the ad mediation war, and then they're off out of it.
It's already
Pretty much out of the
deals
forest.
are happening as we speak.
Yeah, there's phone calls
exactly.
going on right now. Like the Unity has planned this for months, like 100%.
Yeah,
Right?
for sure. This is not like it's just out of the
No,
blue.
definitely.
Yeah,
So-
well, they're a big company, so
that could be
of course they're planning this.
Yeah. So that could be the other way.
If you're working at Unity and listening to this from the PR department, hello.
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 Hope you have a
Yeah.
nice day tomorrow.
Definitely bring coffee to it.
Yeah. The other interesting thing I read about this is that people are kind of or not, like just questioning, like how can they even collect all of these things, especially let's say in EU regarding the GDPR stuff, like the tracking and everything, because they collect this, collect that. This whole kind of install dilemma that people are pretty much now questioning, like how can you track all
Because
of
they
these
have
things? How can you track if it's an
SDKs.
install? Yeah,
And they
but
do it.
like,
They do
I
it
don't know.
anyway. So 'cause you have the Unity Analytics. What are you talking about? You have that as a plugin in the Unity SDK. It's just like,
And you need to have it at all times.
well, like majority of the devs have it because it's.
But is it mandatory?
Not
That's
sure,
the question.
honestly.
Because for these things
Of course,
to work, it
but
needs to be
as you
mandatory,
mentioned
Yeah.
regarding the offline mode or whatever, it's
Yeah, that's, by the way, other news that I read about, and this is Unity, not like random shit talk, is that Unity now can be used online only or offline up
Yeah.
to 3 days from your last sign up, and that's it. Say goodbye to your offline Unity work.
so there you go.
So a lot of devs gonna be happy. Yeah, and then what was it? One last thing that I wanted to say. Yeah, people are pretty much very pissed.
no
Like the
shit,
sentiment on
Sherlock.
the forums and devs, like they're very pissed. Especially those ones that are not participating in this like ad war undertaking that I guess this is kind of reaching to. And they, as I said, like there's from those games, like what was the number 700,030 or what was there?
Yes.
Yeah, some like whatever giant number. Like just guess, Felix, like how many of those actually have ads or like
So it's
meaningful ad revenue? 'Cause my guess is
230
that like
meaningful ad
most of those
revenue?
don't.
Or like ad revenue. I would probably say
ad
revenue at all.
two-thirds of them have ad
definitely,
revenue.
70%,
At least
sure.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that's
Because if you built your game in Unity, remember, you can just click a button and then you can start monetizing with Unity ads. You don't even need level play. So like,
man. Wait, stop. That's
Yeah.
Felix speaking, not random dev guy
No,
using
Unity that's
speaking.
random dev guy Unity speaking. Honestly, it's not. Yeah,
It's-
exactly.
I've
Because
seen the
you have
button.
everything.
I've seen the
You have
button.
everything in that dashboard.
I
And you
know,
want to
but
make money.
how
You
games
want
are
to make
built in
money, and you
Unity.
don't know anything about ads. And there's this toggle like, hey, make money with Unity ads. That's it.
But isn't the usual way to go like make money with IPs or premium
Or both.
to begin with? Or
Yeah, it's that easy.
I don't know. Like but again, what if I have a game that makes a lot of money through IPs?
Congratulations. You should buy us. You should buy us a dinner.
And then I want to have this level credit play, but I just don't have any ad revenue. So what do I do now?
I'm sure these credits are going to be based on like, I'm sure if you're earning more than 40 or 30K a day in ad revenue, you can be completely exempt from this. But anything below that, you get probably
I don't have
partial
any
credit.
ad revenue.
I'm just speculating here. I have no idea.
Yeah, they didn't say like how they're going.
There's still a lot of things that are not really clear here.
Of course,
like
because
how
it's
actually gonna
live
be
for 5
enforced.
hours.
Yeah, we know.
And you will see all of these smaller devs and hypercasual and all of everybody else. They will find these loopholes. They will find it.
Of course.
So,
do you guys think there's going to be any class acts and like lawsuits on the back of this?
But there's the regulatory angle.
Oh.
I still can't
could be.
believe like how they can do it since when Apple did this. They didn't do the same thing. Okay, never mind.
What do you mean? When Epic started suing Apple?
Yeah.
It needs to be some other, I guess.
I mean, there's some pretty crazy memes circulating. I encourage people to have a look.
No, the memes are super crazy.
That's the best part.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so what are the recommendations from each of us, each expertise field? Blondie, you go first.
Haha. Go.
Blondie?
Yeah, Blondie.
Yeah, it's
Blondie.
you.
I was looking at
Edward
Matej
General.
being like, hey,
Hey,
looking pretty pale
how's the
today,
war
man. It
going?
must be Blondie today. Guess not.
Tell me what's on the
Okay,
front.
so from ad monetization perspective, like 100%, if you're on max mediation, you need to consider even having a discussion with Level Play, see what's on the table. This is such big news that this can definitely sink your studio. So essentially, what you need to do, you need to have a conversation, see what kind of offers on the table, and then take a long, hard think if you have time to shift your games, and if you don't, you need to consider adding Level Play.
Oh no.
You need to consider it. Like you need to find out all your options, right?
Jesus fucking Christ! This was a recommendation par excellence.
He's working for you.
Oh
How
my
much
God.
money do they pay you? Ay. Well,
I mean,
okay, never mind. It's fine
Yeah, you just need to find your options, of course.
as
That's why I said
usual. Well, honestly, now since the CPI will increase by sometimes, well, depends on the actual CPI.
100%.
Yeah, sometimes 100%. Yeah,
if you're hyper casual,
sometimes 100%, sometimes 50, sometimes 20%. Anyway,
hyper casual can't catch a break,
yeah,
huh?
it's gonna be more than
it's a hybrid
yeah,
casual
yeah,
anyway
yeah,
nowadays.
So we already know. So in that case, so I mean, consider finding a new vertical.
So what they're saying, find a new
just
job.
build the mediation and fight the Level Play. No, anyway, so I guess also prediction models needs to be recalibrated as well. So payback periods need to change that quite quickly. I guess it's going to influence your budgets, and you will need to spend less until you will work very closely with your game team to increase the LTV, which is going to be a very long time. And then until that happens, you will suddenly be in the hybrid casual space. Now,
Until you suddenly increase your LTV, because what the fuck were you doing
exactly.
last year if you
Yeah,
didn't
exactly.
suddenly increase your
Suddenly
LTV?
it didn't increase until this point. Now, yeah, it may just be very wise to after January change the budgets, and the payback periods will shorten for sure, 100%. Unfortunately, and then what else is left for you? The fake ads that are everywhere. Just decrease the CPIs. Nah, just joking. I'm just joking. I'm done.
Okay, my take. Yeah, so if you are, big guy, big player, and you're, a normal combatant in this ad war, yeah, just do what Felix said. I don't think so. There's like much there to it. Consider the cost of switching to like big engine or like
Big
other
engine
like,
is.
Unreal's.
I don't think big engine.
Depends. It depends on the
True.
genre, man. Like it's like if you're mid-core RPG or like Raid Shadow Legends or something, this is built in Unreal.
Okay, but if you're Raid Shadow Legends,
Yeah.
you
So,
don't
like,
care about.
let's not talk about
Yes.
the big
Yeah.
guys. They know how to take care of themselves. So if you're a small guy or hyper casual studio, like if you've been listening to us, we'll be talking about this long time coming that hyper casual is having a rough way, and it means it's just like speeding up the rough way currently. So
Kiss
I
of
would
death.
definitely try looking into that Godot engine that I read about, or like add other alternatives to pretty much make your margins more viable in a way. The other thing that I would look into is that how big of a switch it would take you in pretty much like going there, or like if you're already big on that front, like yeah, we don't need to talk about this, but yeah, just go again, Level Play, whatever that credit thing that's there. But yeah, honestly, I would we just have 3 months until like this whole thing kind of pushback and community and whatever starts happening now. So let's say by end of November we should see if, let's say, this whole kind of switch into that other like Coco's 2D or Godot engine is actually working, and we're seeing like hyper casual hits there already. Because my guess is that people start building anyway, like this day. Because if you want to switch in January, you need to just start preparing
Take
tomorrow.
us home, guys.
Like,
I will be back.
Yeah.
You can finish without me.
Yeah.
yeah.
And on that note,
that's
I think it's time to end.
Yeah, it's time to end. This was your emergency podcast. See you around and join the Slack channel discussion on this.
Yeah.
See you around.
See you
and
around.
Good luck.
Bye.
Bye-bye. are chicken tortilla.
Chicken dipper.
Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, if you're listening to this, you're hardcore
so
fan of the podcast.
Fan of the podcast. Chicken.
Download me as a
What
ringtone.
is this, man? Eat it. Eat the fucking thing. I wanted to go for a chicken tortilla.
Now, what are you eating?
Chicken
This
tortilla.
tortilla. Oh,
Tortilla. I've always wanted to have a chicken tortilla in the chicken tortilla
tortilla de
capital
pollo.
of Europe.
Pollo.
What did I think?